his horses are always well fed, well groomed. Any slight thing that might be wrong, we get a vet out, make sure it's nothing serious, make sure they're all okay. So yeah, he prides himself on taking very good care of them and training them in a nice, easy environment rather than, I'm the boss, you're gonna listen to me. So there's a lot of mutual respect. We have my dad, Jesse Saldana, who is on Drone. So he's a dark bay. He's about 9 years old, I believe. We have Emily, who is on her horse Royal Ebony. He's 9. So he's black, and they're starting off their career. They've been together about a year now, and they're very happy. And we've got Luis, our employee, who is on a chestnut Xena. She is a baby, so that's why she doesn't have the bridle. With babies, you keep them in the bosal until they're 5 years old. Once they're 6, you transition them into the bridle, which means they have something in their mouth. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do a little class for you guys and see how the shows are run, and I'll explain to you what they're doing as they're doing it. Cool. All right, and go ahead and jog your horses, please. So when you enter a Western class, you will always enter at the jog. It is called Western Pleasure because the horses are supposed to seem like they are a pleasure to ride. You want to make sure they're going nice and slow. They feed off of your hand signals. You don't want them hanging off of the bridle, which means they are not pushing against you, they are working with you. So they are going to take their commands nice and easy and work their way through the jog. So you bump. When you use the bosal, you use both arms. You don't want to use it at the same time. Sometimes it's a little too much for them, so they take you back a little. So the bosal is two-handed, yes, and the bridle is one-handed. So it's mainly arm signals, and you use your legs as well. So you kick them up, get their bodies together, get them underneath themselves. We're going to go ahead and pick up the lope. So when you pick up the lope, some of them will bump them back, make sure they start nice and easy, but you're gonna use your leg to get them to go forward. You kick their side. Yeah, yep. So you just do a light kick, do a light with both reins, or you can do a light bump, and they'll send them forward. Walk your horses, please. So every transition, you want them to transition nice and smooth. What we do at Jesse Saldana Training Center is we do a lot of talking. So when you see us riding by, you will hear us say walk, you will hear us say jog, and you will hear us say lope. So with that way, we communicate with the horses. We let them know what we want from them, and it's an easier transaction rather than just pulling on their face and letting them know we want them to stop. Training is almost a never-ending process. So you will start them, horses start at 3 years old, they will start under saddle. We start with long lines at first before we put any person on them, make sure they're comfortable with the saddle, they get used to their legs. Some of them have long legs, so they got to get used to moving around. Usually within the first month, we'll ease them into it, use mostly our voice, light leg touches, make sure that they're responding to that. By 2 to 3 months, they understand what we want from them. At that point, it's just perfecting and refining everything that they need to do. And we're going to go ahead and reverse at the walk and continue to walk. Riders lope, please. So as the riders come by, you may also hear them kiss. That is also another signal that we use. Makes them go forward, makes them go faster if you need them to go a little bit faster and they're not responding to those leg signals. We just give a little kiss and they'll pick up that lope. Little kiss. So an actual kiss. You ride by and you kiss. So the lope, you want to keep it nice and controlled, slow, just like the rest of the class. Horses, you want them to lope slower so they can sustain it for a longer period of time. When Arabians were ridden in the desert, they got further because they were going slower. So traditionally at the end of every class, you have every horse line up, wait for the judges' cards to be turned in, and you are placed in your class. All right, that's how the class goes.